Hey, thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Get in the Flow. We are kicking your assets in gear, and we are so excited. I'm the architect.
This is Doc.
And we got with us today Jill Pavlov Vazquez. And we're really excited. She owns Your Creative Concierge.
Yep.
And she has always loved words. She likes to read them, write them, sing them, and speak them. These are all great things to do with words.
Yes, I like that.
She started her business in June of 2022. So you're coming up on that 1-year mark. So we're so excited for you. That's going to be a big anniversary for you. She's basically a psychology-driven copywriting service, and we'll let Jill explain what copywriting is. So some people may not know what that is, and if you're in business, you need to know what that is. Very important. She's a stand-up and sketch comedian, so we're expecting all kinds of amazing things here today. She's got a passion for both the pen and the stage.
Yes.
And she had a lot of kind of personal struggles in the past, and before her life, finding her way out of darkness. And she's absolutely passionate about helping people come out of those dark places to be able to find hope, meaning, and purpose. And Jill, we are so excited to have you here with us today. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. That was such a great introduction. I think I'm always going to pronounce my last name now, Vazquez. I like that.
I know. I think that's a little bit of our New Mexican coming out.
It's gotta be.
We just channel it here.
It was powerful. It was very powerful. Thank you.
Senorita Vazquez. She's in the studio with us today.
Well, no, we can't echo enough how much of a pleasure it is to have you. You have done so much already, and there's so much to come. And we want to get into as much as of that as we can. Starting off, just a little bit of how you discovered your business passion. What did that look like?
That actually happened after starting my own company. I never really thought of myself as an entrepreneur. I really just wanted to get out of the 9-to-5 world. I was just desperate to leave my job, work in pajamas, take naps in the middle of the day, and still make more money than I would make in the corporate world. And so I just took off and I flew, and I was very much in a freelancer mindset, I think, until I went on the blocks. I'm not sure if I should assume everyone knows what the blocks is, but
share about it.
But what you guys and I have in common is that we went on The Blocks, which is a reality show for entrepreneurs. I was on season 7, which was filmed at the very beginning of this year, literally January 3rd, 2023, got into Kansas City. And that really taught me for the first time that it was the first time that I had the thought of I could make $1 million myself. Right. I kind of always thought I would have to inherit it or get it through my husband or, I don't know. I never thought that I could be the one earning it unless my dreams of going on Saturday Night Live came true. I never thought with the business. So that's really how I got into this business mindset, and it's been full speed ahead ever since.
That's awesome.
I love it. Yeah.
She said a dream of Saturday Night Live. Come on. Talk about it.
That's my ultimate goal. I don't remember when this dream was implanted in me. I just can remember from the beginning of my life, I always wanted a stage and a microphone. It's just my passion. And whether it's comedy or all the way to karaoke, I enjoy being on stage. I can get a little awkward in real life. So I like being on this stage because it gives me a little bit of a mask almost, and it's fun. I love making people laugh and have a good time. I always want to leave people with a good feeling when they hang out with me or come see my show or anything. So my ultimate goal, as you asked, is Saturday Night Live, because that's what I grew up on. That's the inspiration.
Right.
Well, you're already helping us have a great time with you right now. It's pretty easy to do so. But I guess maybe we can get you into describing this whole copywriting side of the business and how important it really is. This is something that I don't know much about personally. And so,
a lot of people, when you say copywriting, they think, trademarks and registered symbol, and that it is so far from that. I don't think that that's anywhere in my realm. To break it down very simply, copywriting is all the tools in your marketing arsenal that have text, that are written. So whether it's the words in your emails, your blogs, your landing pages, I even qualify like video scripts for your social media as copywriting. It encompasses all of that. I say, if you need words for your business, I got them.
That's awesome.
Okay, cool. So you provide that service of creating or of just?
Yeah, of creating. Content in this world is king, or
Right.
I like to think of myself as the queen. And you need to keep generating fresh content, whether you want to or not. That's the lay of the land these days. Everyone's online, everyone's on social media, everyone's reading blogs to increase their knowledge. So if you want to be a part of the conversation, you have to keep bringing fresh content to the table. And for most small businesses and entrepreneurs who don't have a team, that's very time consuming.
Yeah.
So I love to come in and help people and take on their voice, which is really kind of one of my specialties. This is really where I combine my love of the theater and comedy and also the copywriting and kind of the little special sauce I can bring to the table, is being able to jump into any voice. My little sprinkle of salt, whether I've written for cybersecurity companies, I've written for, pain centers, like anything. Being able to jump into the voice of a company is very strategic in getting your audience to connect.
That's awesome.
Wow. I love how you put that, getting into the voice of that. That is so cool.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Okay. So we're going to copyright ourselves right into the next segment. Okay. Because I think this is so important. And you have this passion.
Mm-hmm.
You've got this kind of like this darkness. We all kind of have things that we struggle with, that we have a hard time with. And you've got this passion to help people come out of that. So can we kind of lean into that a little bit and talk a little bit about where you're coming from there?
Yeah, my goal is to open up with my struggles so that maybe someone else doesn't have to suffer in silence. I went through 17 years of an eating disorder, with 10 of them really not telling a soul about it, and just kind of accepting that, like, okay, this is what my life is and this is how I operate. And there was so much shame that I couldn't get better because I couldn't get past that shame. So the more that we talk about it and the more that we erase some of that stigma, hopefully the more people we can help, because it is a relentless disease. And not a lot of people understand that, because it hasn't properly been portrayed in the media. In my opinion, it on the surface seems like a disease of vanity, obviously, because it's about getting thinner, but it's so much more than about getting thinner. The psychology behind it is so similar to different kinds of addictions, which I also in turn struggle with, along with many eating disorder survivors have also had comorbidities.
Right.
So I know how hard that darkness can be.
Yeah.
And I also know how light and amazing and incredible it can be on the other side. And I'm so thankful that I got to that point and that my parents stepped in and saved my life so that I could get to this point. Because if you see me having this happy demeanor, it's because I just never in my adult life knew that I could live this way. I was used to living a certain way my whole adult life. And all of a sudden I'm like, I'm free. So I'm most of the time a very happy person. And I just want to show that to other people, that if you put in the work and just get past all this BS, you can live a really meaningful and happy life.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So do you mentor people?
I don't specifically mentor people in that realm. I did a lot of stuff with that over the pandemic. I kind of had like a live show that was just for like coping and everything. But my door is always open. And I
Okay.
mean that wholeheartedly for anyone who's struggling and wants to come to me. If you know someone that is struggling, whatever, my door's always open.
That's awesome.
That's incredible. I think that is such a real thing. Like, I know we're jumping around and there's so many dynamics here, but this is what so many entrepreneurs have, so many people have. It's like, it's not just this straight line to the future, and there's so many ups and downs, and everybody's so dynamic. And I love getting into a little bit of your dynamic. It's an honor to do so. What does it look like for maybe some times that you think you could have done things a little bit better in maybe your entrepreneurial goals, or maybe the things that come to mind fastest for that, where you could have made a change and that could help out our audience to kind of maybe not do the same thing?
I would say my entrepreneurial journey, coming from a place of scarcity, was really a hard mindset to get out of, but it really keeps you in a very confined, limited space. You know, it's tough, especially when, you know, you don't have like funds to go off of, and you got to pay your rent, and like, you know, every single job or client or whatever it is matters. It's tough to not think in that mode of scarcity, but when you do that, you kind of devalue yourself. Like, I think that there were a lot of times that I was just underpricing myself just because I was scared I would lose the work if I didn't.
Yeah.
And I think that that's one of the biggest things that I'm still learning, because it's tough. It's hard to ask people for money. I hate it. It's my least favorite part of the job. And I think a lot of entrepreneurs would agree. It's an awkward experience. So asking for more money and being like, am I worth this? You have to believe it, and you have to, you know, build that into your packaging, whatever it is. Make sure that you are demonstrating that value.
Right. Well, that's huge.
Yeah.
Because I think worth is how we value ourselves is really how we're going to be perceived out in the professional space, wherever it is that we're trying to serve.
Yeah.
So maybe it's not so much about asking them for money, but maybe it's about you giving them opportunities to give you money. How about that?
Exactly.
find
I
it.
love it.
Yeah, I mean, we're just giving away all kinds of opportunities.
Yes.
All right? So
Give me your money. I will make it worth
there's
your
one
while.
for you, there's one for you, there's one for you. Come on. Everybody's a giver today. Come on.
No, I think that's such a great point that you said that, because transitioning, and you had this experience too, transitioning more towards an entrepreneur out of a W-2 space. I find my worth in what I've previously done or am still doing as a pharmacist. It's like, that's generic. I know my worth there. I went to school for it. I got a degree for it. Very easy to know that. But as you transition into something new, you have to start building that up. And that's what I'm doing. And it's, son of a gun, it's a hard process. I'm like, I'm not worth anything right now. I need to get this better. But it's that journey. It's that journey of growing your worth, growing your information, growing these type of foundational building blocks in your journey itself. So I love that.
All right, so let's do another really smooth transition again into a completely different topic. All right. I'm gonna pretend that I am three women that I love dearly that we're not going to name here, but when I'm in a conversation with them, there's three different conversations going on at the same time, and I can't follow any of them. So let's change directions.
This is exactly where you want me to go.
All right, so you're a little girl, you want to be on stage, you want to make everybody laugh, you love entertaining, but then you end up in this really dark space, right? But then you come out of the dark space and now you're a comedian and you do stand-up as well as copywriting as your day job. So how do you make this transition? I mean, what's the transition like going into okay, let's do this. Do you have any of your your bits?
Any of my bits?
Yeah, do you have any of your bits that you can pick up? Do you have any special characters that you like to perform?
I'm working on a Natasha Lyonne impersonation because
Natasha
I
Lyonne?
just love her. You know, and she's really kind of like this rough New Yorker, and you know, she kind of goes up into a upper register and doesn't really give a crap, you know. My comedy might not be clean enough for this show, so I'm gonna stay away from some of my stand-up because I read the email in its entirety. I'm a
Oh,
great A
You're
student.
amazing. You're already getting it. Okay,
But
that's
if you are
amazing.
above the age of 18, check out my Instagram.
That's right. That's right.
But no, I love that. Like, what does that transition look like for you? That's such a dynamic thing.
I love it.
I want to hear more about it. This is the coolest thing ever.
I can't wait to hear
I
about the
mean,
Dr. Leon.
I think like many people in our generation too, like the pandemic just kind of really reevaluate, and it was interesting the timing of it because I went to rehab for the final time and got healthy in September of 2018.
Okay.
Okay.
So I had
Congratulations.
kind of like a year of living in as an adult for the first time as a healthy person, as a sober person as well. And then the pandemic hit. So, and you know, I had like a corporate job during the pandemic and it was what I needed. I needed that structure. I needed that stability. And I think just kind of coming into my own and just getting stronger and stronger in learning what my own strengths and weaknesses were. I think that's kind of what geared me towards the copywriting.
Mhm.
And then really my husband kind of helped to give me a push with the comedy. He's on the other side. He's in production. He does stage lighting.
Oh, wow.
So his career, you know, kind of plummeted during the pandemic as well. He
Sure.
found himself into in a corporate job that he wasn't enjoying. And, you know, now that events are back, he went back into that. And I was like, well, if you're going to travel, maybe I should do something too. And I took my first class with the Second City this year. For those who aren't familiar, the Second City is like the comedy school. Notable alumni are Steve Carell, Bob Odenkirk, Tina
Wow.
Fey, Stephen Colbert, and one day
Yeah.
Pavlov Vazquez. So
Yeah.
Wow. Is that in New York?
it is in Chicago, the flagship
Chicago.
one. They also have a location in Toronto and a location in Los Angeles, but I think it's online only.
Okay. And where are you?
I'm in Fort Lauderdale.
You're in Fort Lauderdale. Okay.
Yes.
Right on. So do you do a lot of this stuff online or do you travel to the events?
I study with Second City online in the cold months, and then I plan to travel to Chicago again this summer to do, they do intensive so that I only have to stay there for like a week.
Yeah.
I mean, although I love Chicago, I would stay longer, but obviously got to get back home.
Yeah.
I
awesome.
absolutely love this because to me, in my mind, I see where this is like coming full circle and just bringing it to what an entrepreneur really is. It's using these multiple, we call them assets, these multiple things that you've learned over time that you kind of naturally already have, and creating that into a business structure of the copywriting. Like, I love that type of dynamic and how you want to bring funny and you want to be the voice and you're so passionate about that. That's way better than me trying to scribble together a blog. This is my way.
That's how most people do it.
Yeah, I'm just like, you know, but you're able to be the voice, get into that detail and push forward. It's so cool how you've encompassed everything, including, again, your past and where you are now, and just, it's a full circle thing, and it's so cool to see.
And I didn't plan any of it. It just kind of happened that way, which is a lesson in and of itself, that sometimes you just kind of like, you just got to let go. I really tried to control my future a lot and I would worry about it. But instead, I've just learned to like keep learning, keep growing. And somehow the universe is going to work its magic and it's going to happen.
Beautiful.
Wow.
That's beautiful.
Okay.
So who's your ideal customer?
My ideal customer is someone.
Besides Saturday Night Live.
Sorry. I missed it. Someone who definitely appreciates a little bit of wit. I like companies that like to think outside the box, and like to go there a little bit more. I would love to work with like an adult toy company. I don't currently have that on my
Oh, no.
roster, but anywhere that I can make a little bit of a naughty pun, and I'm watching my words here, but anywhere that I can make a little bit of a naughty pun is kind of fun. Again, I don't have that on my roster, so if you're listening, but I like working with people who are passionate about what they do and people that bring a unique perspective to what they do as well.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, so how would people find you if they want to reach out to you and they want you to come be their copywriter? How would they find you?
Yeah, well, connect with me on LinkedIn, Jill Pavlov Vazquez. My Instagram is at Your Creative Concierge. That's also my Facebook handle is at Your Creative Concierge. So any of those ways are a great way to get in touch with me.
Nice, nice.
Awesome. I
Well,
love that.
Well, we're gonna make sure that we've got the link down below. Down
Yes.
below.
Down below.
All right, we'll do the Blake Shelton thing from The Voice. Down below, right there. Okay, push the link.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Yes, we want to make sure everybody has an easy way to reach you, and thank you for already kind of presenting that here. This has been an absolute pleasure. It's so cool to see you.
Thank you guys so much.
Oh, we're so glad that you joined us. I mean, what a great time, Jill. Thank you so much for coming with us today.
Thank you guys.
Your journey is our journey. So
as is the journey of the listener, and thank you all for listening and watching.
thank you so much. Guys, make sure you subscribe below. You'll see so much more great content. It's been another fantastic episode of Get in the Flow. We're kicking your assets in gear, and we are so excited to have had Jill with us today. Thanks for joining us, Jill.
Jill, you're amazing. Thank you. Bye, guys.
Thank you.